Hello, hello. How are we all doing? Welcome to Monday. The letter I is the letter of today, Alan. And we've got lots of letter I submissions, so thank you everyone for sending them in. Hope you all had a great weekend. I not only had a great weekend, I had a great week off. Even though we did the vlogs every day and we did the quiz, and I spent most of it swinging a pickaxe out in the garden. It was a week away from brain work, which is respite in itself, isn't it? Always nice. It's not a t-shirt, it's a jumper. But yeah, there's no collar. No collar. Casual nail. May the 4th be with you also, Richard. So we've got lots to get through today, as always, because you've been so generous with your submissions. And I've got a family quiz at 8 PM, which is why we've started a little bit early. So we'll bash through them. We've got show and tells from Chrissy. We've got tours from Michael. We've got a show and tell from Nick. Amiga 3351 even. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 clap clap letter I games. Some pictures, some videos. So who have we got in the chat? We've got Pillock, we've got Derek from Flame Lily, we've got Gregster, Richard, Monty, hello. Craig, hello. Craig, you'll be pleased to know that because I was in the cave, I picked up the Banshee I'm sending you today, and I'm using the same box that you sent me yours in, so if it gets damaged, you've only got yourself to blame. Neil Rishman has Beard Plays Games. Castado, hello, sir. Sheepy Tina. And Velociraptor Dave. I think I've said Dave. How could I forget Dave? And Rob. Excellent, the whole gang's here. And Philly Lily, hello, hello. Super Grover, right. Let's crack on. Thank you to everyone who attended the quiz on Saturday. You'll be pleased to know I've already got, I think, 4 more, maybe even 5 more song mashups for next week. But I'm only going to play them once next week. I think I made a few ears bleed. So let's kick off with a show and tell from Chrissy. Cryptically called Show and Tell Bin Chrissy. Who knows, there's 2 hours. Let's take this music down. Let's turn Chrissy up. And let's hope we get a hi, Chrissy here. Let's see. Oh, we got a Gary. Hello, Gary.
Hi.
Hi.
Chrissy here.
Hi,
Today
Chrissy.
I'm going to show you some items I've got stored away somewhere special. And here we are, my storage box, which is basically a bin. I'll cover these items quite quickly.
What?
Okay, first on top is a Jupiter Ace, which still works.
Does anyone else in the chat keep their retro tech in the bin?
There we go. It's expandable RAM.
Nice.
ZX81. Various books. Set guide. Some easy add-ons, which I think is just all electronics and stuff, so you can have a scanner. Some more books. Prologue. What's that?
What's in the box, Chrissy?
Div MMC.
Oh, Div MMC. Gotta have one of them.
Some more books. ZX81.
You can tell he really cares about the Spectrum. The way he keeps them in the bin and he's just lobbing them on the floor.
User guide. Okay.
Here's the good stuff.
Some more Spectrum
Down in amongst the bin juice at the bottom.
stuff. Parallel port. Let's get rid of this top, might make it easier. There we go.
Isn't that a pet food bin as well? I think that's the brand on the front, so I'm going to pet food. Should be keeping his Commodore pets in there.
got the ZX81 in its box. Okay, Spectrum Plus or
Behave, Derek.
toast rack.
Oh, we've got an interface one.
Interface one.
Oh, micro drives.
Micro drives, which will still work as well. And 16K RAM expansion for ZX81.
And the bin juice on this occasion is the mess of wires and cables all tangled up. Very fitting.
Power plugs. I think that's for the Jupiter Rays to, or maybe ZX81 to swap the connectors around. That must be another, yeah, RAM pack. And there's a few little micro drives down there. I think that's it. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thanks, Chrissy, for showing us your bin. If you want to show us your bin, just send in a video. Right, Chrissy's bin. Yeah, next week's theme is going to be bins. We've got 2 more show and tells. We'll come back to them. Let's start to go through the I games. In fact, we've got an H game which was missed. Where did I put that? Wow, we've got so much. Here we go. This was Ryan's H game because it ended up in my spam folder through no fault of his own. It was just what Gmail decided to do with him. So just going back to H, he went for Hunchback on the CPC 464. I had it. It came with my Amstrad. We all just turned into retro hobos, yeah. He says, I hope you and all the cave dwellers are well. Unfortunately, I made the really bad mistake of letting my parents dispose of my Amstrad and all of its games during their last move. I remember being very lucky, getting up one Christmas morning. Got mine on Christmas Day as well. An Amstrad 464 on the dining room table. Mine was also on the dining room table. Did you live at my house? It wasn't long before the educational games were put to one side and I was playing this. I don't think I've ever made it to the end of this game, but then I'm not a great games player. The screenshots are artwork which have been taken from www.gamesdatabase.org. Yeah, that's fine, I can use them. On the upside, I've got myself an Amiga 500 with accessories from eBay today. I'm looking forward to exploring the system I always wanted but never managed to get. So there you go, that's Ryan's choice of game. Just as I said, my dad got completely hooked on GoldenEye the other day. My mum got pretty hooked on this. It was this and Bridget, the only 2 games she ever played. Hunchback trying to rescue the buxom princess. I think there were only about 10 levels and then it loops with extra difficulty, extra arrows shooting at you. I never completed it either. There you go. So, wow, we've got so many games. Let's just go from the top. We've got Chris's iGame. So this is Chris 005 Agima, he said on his email. Yeah, that's right. He hasn't misspelt Amiga. I don't know if he's in the chat. But his iGames, he sent me some gumph. He says, 2 games from the 10-star pack. My memories of Insanity Fight, that's the one on the left, are that it was stupidly hard. Ikari Warriors, on the other hand, I remember playing 2-player with my brother many times. Yeah, Ikari Warriors I liked on the home systems, didn't really like on the arcade, because you had to play it with the spinner, didn't you? You sort of moved and you could spin the character 360 degrees. Never quite got on with that. More of a commando man.
Get ready.
We haven't been using the soundboard.
Checkpoint.
Richard played this yesterday and says it was stupidly hard. You're still talking about bins in the chat. I'm not sure if my chat is updating. Is it all okay? It is. It's fine. It's fine. It's just one's updating quicker than the other. Right. Donna, who always treats us to something exotic, and it's no different today, has sent in this game. I am Setsuna? Setsuna, yes. Not I am Satsuma. I am Setsuna. And she says, not a lot in our collection, beginning with I, but I did find something interesting. This is I Am Setsuna for Switch, quite a recent release from Square Enix's sub-studio, Tokyo RPG Factory. Has anyone seen this one in the chat? So Tokyo RPG Factory was established specifically to develop RPGs with the 16-bit era philosophy to design and development. What makes this one particularly special is that it never received a Western physical release on the Switch. The Japanese release has English on the cartridge, but of course an all-Japanese box. This one is fairly uncommon, a fairly uncommon Asia release with the entire box presented in English. These sometimes see distribution in places like Hong Kong, Taiwan and Korea, presumably for locals who understand English, but not Japanese. Something a little unusual if nothing else. We have got the back of the box. Might give us a clue as to that 16-bit philosophy. Yeah, kind of isometric. It's not using 16-bit style pixel art. I could get on board with that game. Looks nice. It's pronounced Dana. Sorry, I've probably been annoying you for weeks by saying Dana. Wasn't Dana International a Eurovision winner or something? Dana, like Daytona. Right, I've got to remember that. Dana, let's fly away. I promise never to sing again. Yano is next with this beautiful photo.
Get ready.
We have to have Indiana Jones today, don't we? This is the graphic adventure, not the action game. And Yano says, the box art of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the graphic adventure itself, isn't that impressive. But the game itself is just awesome, and I consider it to be much better than The Fate of Atlantis. Interesting. In fact, it's my all-time favourite LucasArts game. Controversial. Is The Last Crusade better than The Fate of Atlantis? What do you think, chat? And also, that box is obscuring what looks like a beautiful view. And it's obviously chilly. He's got his gloves on. I'm still leaning on the side of The Fate of Atlantis. I've played both of them all the way through, and I just like the slightly better graphics on The Fate of Atlantis. And I'm not a huge fan of the action sequences that they've sort of shoehorned into this one, but it's still a great game. The boxing is okay, I guess. But yeah, I'm a more of a fan of The Fate of Atlantis. But hey, you can play them both easily on Scum. So, you don't have to pick one, enjoy them both. Chris has chosen International Superstar Soccer Deluxe. He says at university back in 1999 to 2000. Oh, it doesn't feel retro, does it? But it really is. 20 years ago, 21 years ago. It wasn't Centre Parks, Craig, I can assure you. The trees aren't that tall. Chris says, I shared a flat with someone who had a SNES, who had a floppy disk copier attached to it. We'd play many games, but this one stands out as the most popular multiplayer game we all played. It was also in Japanese, so a good amount of guesswork was required. This had some of the great Italian footballers with distinctive hairstyles to match. Ravanelli, the white feather due to his silver hair, was featured in the game. Roberto Baggio, was he still playing in the year 2000? Also had his distinctive ponytail as well, or mullet. It was kind of a mullet with a rat tail, wasn't it? I did used to, right, on Channel 4, I think it was on a Saturday morning on Channel 4, you used to get the Italian football on update, didn't you? It was like an hour or a couple of hours of Italian football. I got quite into it. I probably knew more about Italian football for a spell than I did about English football. Hello, Smooth MJ. There is no Dana, only Zool. Gazzetta, that was it. It was on, used to be on when I had my breakfast in the mornings. I think it was on quite early. Maybe even had a couple of cartoons before it.
Get ready.
Okay, the next choice is not a game, it's a piece of hardware, which is nice. And there's a bit of text so I can tell you what it is. So let's open up. Let's start with the box. Haha. So this is from Mumbo. He says, I've chosen a piece of hardware called the Interactor, made by Aura Systems. Bought from a Heart of Kent hospice charity shop in late January for £20, which is more than I'd like to have paid. But I knew it'd be unlikely I'd see another one outside of the internet. Let's give you the back of the box. Not much different. This guy looks pretty excited. All it really is a speaker that you strap to your back that works with anything you can get audio out of. Audio quality isn't something it aims for, just bass, so it's not going to replace your regular speakers. Plenty of paperwork and various adapters to go with it. There's still in its packaging. So there you go, you've got a 3.5mm jack to put your source into. Is that the pack itself? Is that what you strap to yourself? Yeah, it must be. No, it does look a bit more like a backpack. So that's the amplifier. Have we? I don't think I've got a picture of the backpack itself from Mumbo, but that's what it looks like. You must have it in the box. Oh, zoom in on the right, he says. Zoom in on the right. What am I zooming into? This? Am I zooming into that? Oh, I should have it. Sorry, I haven't got it, but that does give us the picture. Sorry, I must have missed that download. Mumbo says music mode worked as well as I expected. Not great, but paired with some bassy music, it could vibrate your body. Maybe Elmo's Letter of the Day song might work. I'm not going to try it though. I don't know how well it works on game mode since I've only tried it on music mode. Overall, it's probably something I'll use again. It's probably not something I'll use again, mostly just a collection piece. And that's it. Thank you, Mumbo. Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's one of those bits of oddware, as LGR might call it. And you just got to hope you don't hit the brown note when you're playing a game. Look at this down here. VBH, serious virtual bodily harm. You can plug in your hi-fi, your TV, your Commodore Amiga. Look, it specifically says you can plug this into a Commodore Amiga. So that kind of gives you a sense of the year this came out. PC CD-ROM, Nintendo consoles for Dave, Sega consoles, and Sony PlayStation. So that's covering multiple generations of consoles and micros. Richard says, I can't believe he got the PC. Yeah, LGR bought the 4th IBM charity PC on eBay. Really nice of Clint. I'm going to throw in a few extras for him. And hope it arrives safely. And hope he doesn't do a video tearing it to pieces. Look at the terrible job RMC did on this. I don't know if it's safe to use if you're pregnant, Dave. So that's a good eye. Hardware is most welcome on the letter of the day. Clap, clap. Now, we've had Indie the Adventure. This is Amiga Nick, Amiga 3351's iGame, and it's the action game for the Commodore 64 on disc. A two-fisted action game from the people who bought you the smash hit movie. Looks like it's got a bit of dirt on the box or something. We've got the glasses there for the copy protection. Use your whip, use your fists, use your wits. Relive the movie, capture the cross of Corando, scramble across a rumbling circus train. It's red hot slam bam action. I'm gonna stick with the adventure game. I wasn't a fan of the action game. I think I got a demo once. Played through the first level. Where you're like a Boy Scout, you're a young Indiana Jones. Yeah, you didn't get as much for your money as you did with the adventure game. Drown in shallow puddles, yeah. Experience poor collision detection with snakes. But being a LucasArts game, it's got some fun gumph in it. The ST version was bad, was it? Can't imagine it was too different to the Amiga version. Next one is a video. So this is Rob's choice. There he is. Let's see what Rob's got to share with us.
Evening, Cave Dwellers.
Good evening, Rob.
Well, I'm about to open something now.
Let me just turn the volume up a bit in OBS because that's a little bit quiet. What's this one called? Oh, it's just desktop audio. Let's give Rob 5 decibels, which the number 5 is mapped to my Sonic coin. Here we go. Well, you're guessing indie, are you? Is it the hat that's making you think indie? Let's find out.
Evening, Cave Dwellers.
Good evening.
Well, I'm about to open something now, and whatever you do, don't look at it. Shut your eyes.
It's going to be indie.
Look at it.
Ooh, it's an actual Grail. Sorry, Ark.
Here goes.
The Ark of the Covenant.
And my choice for today is Iron Man Stewart Super Off-Road.
Of course.
Now, I played this years ago, and I loved it. It's not the kind of game I would normally play, because I normally play like shoot-em-ups and side-scrollers. And it's a kind of game similar to Super Sprint. Little tiny sprites of the cars going around the track, and you're picking up nitros and money to upgrade your car. And the higher you come in the race, the more money you get to upgrade your car. So you can think buying things like shock absorbers, upgrading your tyres and whatnot. It was an arcade game. I played it in Florida in, I think it was 94.
Is that what you were supposed to do when the semi-nude ladies were on the screen between races? You were supposed to upgrade your car? I was too busy looking at them.
And it's actually there's a picture of it on the back of the manual. There we go. So it's 3-player. Obviously the 4th car in the game is Iron Man himself. So it's I think it was released on quite a few systems actually. It was on all the home computer, and I think they did a version on the NES.
I'm assuming he was a successful racer. For some reason, I associate Ivan Iron Man Stewart with Eddie the Eagle Edwards. I have them in the same category, but I've got no idea why that's happened in my head.
But for licensing reasons, they just called it Super Off-Road. It's just got a nice little poster there of other Virgin Games
Monty
releases.
Python.
It comes with a poster.
It's mostly
For some
sky.
reason it's just
Oh no,
generic.
there's mud.
Can't really do this with one hand. There you go. It's just a generic picture of
A
the
monster truck.
4x4. Doesn't even say Iron Man Super Off-Road. It's just a random Bigfoot type vehicle. So that's that. And this manual is quite thick.
Oh yes, how many pages, Rob? This is our first page count today.
44 pages.
44.
There you go. That makes up for the lack of tape measure today, because I just forgot. Anyway, thanks. See you later.
Cheers, Rob. That was a wonderful unveiling. Very much enjoyed that. I played the game a lot in the arcades. I had it on my Amiga. It wasn't a bad conversion, but you couldn't beat, just like Super Sprint, really wanging the steering wheel in the arcade to get around the corners. You really gave him a good spin, collecting all the nitros. Yeah, it was a fun game. A nice evolution of Super Sprint and all of those earlier games. Sprint before that. What was the one? There was one in like a dystopian world, which was like Super Sprint. Can anyone remember the name of that one? Pretty much an identical game, but in like a Mad Max kind of setting. Someone's going to tell me in the chat. Badlands! Thank you, Gradius. That's exactly the game I was trying to think of. Now the next one, brace yourselves, it's Richard's Hallucinogenic Trip, featuring copyright-free music. Clap, clap. Let's see where Richard takes us today. Oh, sorry. VLC does this thing when I'm streaming where I've got to close it before I open the next video. Here we go. That's a little loud, sorry. Just knock that down. It's because we turned it up for Rob. Sorry, headphones wearers. $10 points. Tape measure. Oh, we've got another Ikari Warriors. Oh, something just fell over there. I do like your transitions. Oh, we got some lens flare now, just catching on the tape measure, bouncing off of Derek Findus's dome onto the mug. IK Plus, great game. Come on, you got to make the trousers fall down. Oh, groin shot. Are we going to get the trouser shot? Come on. No, we didn't get it. If you think I'm going insane, you press a button to make their trousers fall down. This was a great game. This had a real sense of speed. On even a stock Amiga 500, this one looks slightly accelerated. The turn left driving simulator. There he is. Clap, clap. Thank you, Richard. The effort you go to with your videos is always impressive. I might just release them as my regular Thursday videos. Hello, Whacked Man. Oh, you got an ACA 500 Plus on there. Nice. So, not massively accelerated, but enough to make a nice difference there. Yeah, Indy 500 was Ace. It was Papyrus Software, wasn't it? Who went on to do NASCAR racing. Who's the guy in the intro? Paul someone. Hi, I'm Paul someone. Walker? Parker? From Papyrus Software. This is NASCAR racing. No, IndyCar racing. This is IndyCar racing. That was the follow-up. And then they did NASCAR as well. Paul Page, that's it. Well done. Good memory, LJ. Hi, I'm Paul Page from Papyrus. Okay, our next iGame is from Velociraptor Dave. Already trolling us with the tape measures there. Take it away, Dave.
Thanks, Neil. Hello, Cave Dwellers. Today I interrupt your measuring to talk to you about my favourite iGame. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game, and although it's not the first Dungeons and Dragons game, and
Hang on, what have we got here? Best tape measures updated May 2020. Magnetic hook, graphite marker. I'm not seeing a motorized one, but best bang for buck is the Stanley one there, and best of the best is the Standout Milwaukee. So that's what we're looking for.
it's not the first dungeon crawler. It's probably one of the most famous. Before this game, D&D games were the gold box games.
Ah, they're very collectible, aren't they?
They did have a graphical overview, but they were text games, and the graphical overview was kind of in the style of the Bard's Tale. It was just a representation of what was going on. This game was the first one to go fully graphical, so the whole interface is graphical. It's not text input. It's all done with a mouse, although you can use a keyboard for it. That's right. I'm sure you've guessed. It's Eye of the Beholder.
Oh, come on.
So,
come on, Dave. You're taking liberties here. Eye of the Beholder for the letter I.
So it's a bit of a Dungeon Master clone, but it applies D&D rules as best as it can to it, and it has a nice plot to it. You start out low level, and you do climb up as you explore the depths with spiders and dwarves and drow and mind flayers, and finally a beholder. And there's 2 sequels to the game, and then the studio went on to do the Lands of Lore game with the same engine. But the main reason I wanted to mention it today is a modern enhancement to it called the All-Seeing Eye. And it sits around the game running in DOSBox and automatically creates a map.
Ooh.
It'll even show you the official cluebook clues on the map if you want. And it'll back up your save games and allow minor, and if you want, major cheating, and you shouldn't cheat.
That's better
now,
than
we're not 50
graph
years
paper.
old anymore. We don't have all the time in the world, so I think an enhancement like this makes it a bit quicker to get through. It strikes the balance right for us as we're adults who don't have all the time in the world, so I'd recommend doing it. And I did mention back at the start the gold box games, and they also have a similar thing called the Gold Box Companion. Now, they're even less accessible in modern times than Eye of the Beholder, although I would still say they're great. And I think these enhancements give these classic games a new lease of life, so I urge you to give them a try. So there you go, Eye of the Beholder for the Eye Day. And I'll see you tomorrow for a special Cave Dwellers video. Back to you in the studio, Neil.
More of a spare room than a studio, but thank you. Yes, that was roving reporter Dave with Eye of the Beholder. But yeah, a nice little enhancement. I did see that sometime back. You may even have shown that to me, Dave, and it's on my radar, on my list of things to try out, because it, like you say, most of us are adults, and anything to... I hate turning to a walkthrough when I'm playing a game, just so I can see the game. It feels like cheating too much, you know, when we've played through some of the graphic adventures on Twitch. To have something that just gives you a helping hand to stop you getting stuck in dead ends is far nicer than just reverting to a walkthrough guide. So, really nice. Even if it is the complete wrong letter. I've got Rob's eye choice again. I think this is the same video. Yes, yeah, I've just got the file twice. The next one's Tim. Hello, Kai. Tim's letter I. What? I for the Chaos Engine? Or is this just another one of Tim's fancy mugs? Sorry, I'm doubling up on the music there. Always happens once. Here comes Tim.
Hi.
Hi, Tim.
Here for a letter I. The game I've picked for a letter I is actually the first of this genre that I've included so far. And
oh, good.
It
I'm
is
glad it didn't Mumbo.
IL2.
Good choice. Good choice. Oh, Neil gets
which
Flight Simulator excitement
Flight Sims,
intensifies.
Which started. Well, I've played on the PC. And this one's early 2000s, so debate, is it retro or not, but it's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And what I really enjoyed about it, because I enjoy flight sims generally, is that unlike other, let's say, combat flight sims, it's set on the Eastern Front, and that's pretty unusual, since most of them focus on the Western Front and other areas. So for that alone, it's special, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. The mission structures, the handling, just the game was engaging. So that is. I was about to say that's my letter I, but I feel like I should open it up and do a page count on the manual.
Yes, you should.
But on the other hand, I won't bother. I will see you for the J's.
Well, the manual, looking at that box, is probably a PDF anyway, or stored on the CD or the DVD. Not as fun. So I liked it. It had some cool features. It is retro, but I would class it as a modern flight sim because it had all of the things like, you could look around freely. You weren't using the numpad to look 90 degrees angles at things. It was made by a company called 1C Company, an independent software developer. For some reason, I've got it in my head that the developers of this had links back to an old game called what was it called? Flanker, SU-27 Flanker, I think it was, but I'm wrong. I've got that completely wrong. They have nothing to do with it, so just another Russian games company. But Flanker was a good game. That might have to be my F choice. Yeah, that's all I can tell you about them at the moment without just reading a Wikipedia page to you. Cheers, Gregster. Neil, do I need to start making you some videos for these? Ralph, it's been an open invite for weeks, mate. You're welcome to send anything in you want to. We've had your garage tour. Anyone can send in a game on letter I, so you can figure out what tomorrow's letter is. Or you can send several days in advance. Those are all of our show and tell games today, but we have got some tours. So thank you for that. If I just go to tomorrow, I've already got submissions from you all for L Games. All of these folders have got videos in already. So yeah, you can send them in advance, and I'll keep them organised and ready to show you. So, where were we then? Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this one. And as always, I genuinely don't watch these videos until we do it live on air. But I do know what this one is. This is Nick, Amiga 3351's virtual pinball table, which he's made. Let's have a look at this.
Hey Cave Dwellers, it's Amiga 3351 again.
Hello.
Just thought I'd do a little show and tell of the pinball cabinet that I've just recently completed. Pretty good, works off Pin-Up Popper, which is like a front end, a bit similar to Hyperspin on your arcade cabinet. Yeah, it works on like a menu system, so this is the Tron Legacy table. back glass.
Oh, I'm hearing the Daft Punk Tron Legacy music in the background as well as part of the game. Love it.
DMD display, and then that's the main playfield. 27. It's only a mini cab. 27-inch main display, 19-inch 4:3 LCD, and then that one is sort of a 15-inch 4:3, but I've sort of tilted it, so it's just showing the the top sort of quarter of the screen, and then the rest of the screen sort of goes
Clever.
And there are just a couple of little speakers that I got from the electronics place, connected up to a sub with some LEDs. Yeah, these are just your normal LED arcade buttons. So they obviously flippers left and right, start, coin, escape, and then that's your plunger.
It looks good from every angle the camera's catching it at.
It's transformers.
Oh wow, it's really quick to change tables.
It's pretty good. Tales of the Arabian Night. So this is a really good table. Lots of detail on that. Tom and Jerry. Theatre of Magic. Goonies. Flintstones. Brilliant table. Adam's Family. Another good table. T2. Stranger Things. If we go to, that's one of my favourite tables, Ghostbusters. Go back. And this is Pinball Effects 3. Now these are really proper quality tables. Zen Studios. So yeah, it's hard trying to work it. We're going to the pin-up pop of this front end is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, just quick. Was that Tales of the Arabian Nights? And then the artwork I got off a guy. I got the templates off a guy in America, and I got a local company to do the printout, and then they put like a
Thanks, Pillock.
laminate on it as well, so it doesn't scratch, which is pretty good. And then I got on the back glass thing. I just got some like a carbon fibre self-adhesive. Just start this table.
Such a good looking thing.
I am now loading up the game. Have fun.
So yeah, I don't know how long this is on. 3 minutes.
Was that Alexa?
I'm trying to just get a bit of to show the quality of the visuals on this, which is pretty good. There we go. It's just kicking in now. Back glass will come on shortly. Yep, there we go. And this has also got coloured DMB display, which is pretty good.
It's not a pot noodle.
So as you can see, the quality is just insane. Really is good. This is one of the better.
Is Nick in the chat?
Sort of fan-made tables, if you
Amiga
will.
3351.
And I'm also going to try and get. I've got an Xbox.
Just wanted to know what resolution the
mount
screen's
on
running
the
at.
top, and then you can use that to sort of give a real-time 3D effect. It uses the cameras. It's really clever the way it works. Sort of tracks your head, so it gives sort of a 3D sort of effect on the table. Going in. Press start. So, I mean, and that's like it's brilliant the way it works. Just try and launch a ball. I'm working with one hand here. Anyway, just escape out of that. So yeah, that's my visual pinball table. 2.
Measure it. Measure it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's up to 6 minutes now, so I'll just have a one last sort of look over.
Take as long as you like. We can't get enough of this. No, I can't.
That sort of complements the overall table. So there you go. Cheers, guys. Okay.
Thank you very much. That's incredible, isn't it? And I do exactly the same with my mini Gauntlet cabinet. Even though it's got hundreds of games in it, I always fire up Gauntlet because it matches the artwork on the cabinet. You got to do it. Now I've been aware of Visual Pinball, and I nearly built a mini one at one point to go with my mini arcade cabinet. What put me off was the fact that it's flat, and I was just thinking, you know, when I looked at it before, can I get some kind of 3D? Can I use a 3D monitor or 3D TV? But actually, as Nick explained there, you can put a camera on the top which tracks your head, so when you move it kind of gives a pseudo 3D effect, depending on where you are, which is kind of cool. And also, once you've got it under a piece of glass with a bit of a gap between it, I know it's not exactly the same, but it does sort of blur the line a little bit. I didn't hear if you had any actuators or anything in there knocking, because you can install them and wire them up and get Visual Pinball to talk to that. So, for example, when the pinball sort of hits a bumper or something, it triggers a physical bang inside the cabinet, which is cool. And having seen Keith from the Digital Orphanage, he's got 2 real Star Wars tables, an old one and a newer one. Just opening them up and seeing the amount that is inside a pinball table, the amount of maintenance you need to do to keep on top of it. I think for convenience I would go visual every time. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a classic pinball table, but I don't think we've all got that much space for multiple pinball tables, so this is just ideal. Love it. Clap clap indeed, Rob. Sesame Street Pinball. Ah, there's Keith. Keith, you need to get one of these to go with your physical ones.
Sugary!
Keith does have the luxury of the room for multiple pinball tables. Right, we've got one last tour to see us to the end of today. Dave says, you'd like it if you'd measured it. Yeah. If you've got to take measure, you've got to use it. Here we go. This is Michael's tour.
Well, hello Neil and fellow cave dwellers.
Hello, Michael.
I thought I'd give you a quick tour of some of the things that are keeping
A
me
little
busy
bit out of
during this
focus.
lockdown period.
Focus. Come on, camera.
Hope everybody's staying safe.
There we go.
Some of the things that keep me going when I was a child, because my parents were a little too tight to buy me a computer. They bought me on a yearly basis handheld toys. So what I've been trying to do is pick up a few of them.
The Neo Geo Pocket colour is not like the others.
I'm not going to go
A
into
lovely
each and every one of
collection.
these because I'm sure there are a lot of YouTube videos out there of people showing you these working, etc. But
Dave, speaking of my new phone, it stopped working. It refuses to detect the phone provider or the SIM or both. Yeah, so the new phone's already broken.
here's some of the things that keep me going. Pac-Man's really good fun.
That is great. That's
Some nice
2-player.
scores. Vectrex, love me Vectrex.
Oh, we've got a Slinky.
Slinky, more fun. And then the next thing that are getting very expensive to collect these days, are my Nintendo handhelds.
That's a lovely collection. Look at those.
Over 40 available, and at £50 to £100 each. I'm afraid I've only got 20 of them at the moment. I'm working on more, but this has been another little thing I've been collecting when I've been too lazy
TV
to pick
games.
up my computers and plug them in to the telly. It's just easier to pick up one of these. And
I've not seen that one before. We've got a TV gaming attack style joystick. That's nice.
quick blast. But, there we go. That's just a few of the things that have kept me going over the lockdown period. Yeah, over to you, Neil. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I like the over to you, Neil. Back over to you in the studio, Neil, as Dave said. Oh, wow, Gizmo just let out an almighty snore. So those have been our tours and our games for today. Hope you enjoyed it. A little bit shorter than normal because I've got this family quiz. I've got like 10 minutes to write the questions for it. Do you think I can get away with just playing Saturday night's music round to them? I'm sure my mum will identify Eminem over Commando. So tomorrow's game is the letter J. That's right, isn't it? H-I-J, clap clap. So please email your J games to retromancave@gmail.com. Dave, have I made it through the whole round without muting myself once? Wow. Yeah, Richard's already sent his J. Fantastic. Send me your J's. Any show and tells? We've got a few in the bank. If yours hasn't been shown yet, it's in the queue. We've just got to spread them out across the days. If you want to see more of Chrissy's bin, let him know. Come over to Discord, chat to us in Discord. We're there all day and night chatting away about this stuff and everything besides. And see you all tomorrow. I'm going to get back to my noodles, which are not pot noodles. And take care, everyone. The bin was a particular highlight. Goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from Gizmo, who hasn't moved the entire duration of the stream. Bye, everyone. He's waving.